Martin Lewis is the money man that Brits all know and love, and has always on our TV screens sharing the greatest deals and invaluable tips to cut costs at home. The money-saving expert has been behind some incredibly successful campaigns over the last 2 decades, taking on unfair bank charges, uncapped energy bills and student finance. Outside of showbiz, the 51-year-old is happily married to his wife, who is well known in her own right, and they have a young daughter together, who he describes as his mini MSE. Here is everything we know about Martin's family, and the cruel tragedy that rocked his childhood and left him praying that his little girl never has to go through the same. Famous wife Martin isn't the only famous face in his family, as his wife is television presenter Danielle Lara Lewington, 44. The couple have been happily married since 2009 and share a daughter together. In the early days of their relationship, Martin and Lara would hire a motorbike on holiday and sing songs in the sun. But after becoming parents, Lara banned Martin from getting on a motorbike again. Having spent 6 years at Channel 5 as a weather presenter and showbiz correspondent, Lara featured in a weekly sketch on If 1's The Impressionable John Culshaw. She was a panelist on If 1's Win, Lose or Draw and has made appearances on Newsnight, Big Brother's Big Mouth, The Weakest Link and BBC's Let stands for Sports Relief. Lara currently co-presents BBC's Click, a popular weekly technology news show, with Spencer Kelly and is a women's magazine columnist. She has been slammed by trolls for being attracted to Martin for his money, but he has shut down these claims. "I know you think it's a joke, but actually it's offensive both to me and my wife. You're accusing her of being a gold digger," he responded to an offensive tweet in 2020. And indeed, Lara concentrates on her own successful career at the BBC. Mini-Me daughter Martin and Lara are parents to Sapphire Susan Lewis, who was born in 2012. After the birth of their first child, Martin wrote a special blog about his newborn daughter and said, "While she weighs a wee 6 pounds 6 her weight in joy is immeasurable." Martin confessed that Sapphire had him wrapped around her little finger. He told the Sunday Times in 2020, "When my daughter was born, I remember saying, I'll buy her everything she needs, but not everything she wants. Unfortunately, I didn't factor in her special power. Those eyes." Martin has said that one of his greatest joys is making her happy, and whatever goes on at work, he makes sure to finish at 6 p.m, so he can spend some time with his little girl before putting her to bed. And it seems the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as has already nicknamed Sapphire Mini Money Saving Expert. He tweeted a couple of years ago, "Mini MSE, age 7, said to me smiling tonight, having got some fruit from the fridge, 'Daddy, these grapes are a day over their best before date, but I know I can eat them still because they're not used by, and they still look okay. I'm very proud.' What a chip off the old block smile." Tragic family death. Martin, who is a patron for charity Grief Encounter, lost his mother Susan Lewis in a tragic road accident while she was horse riding, just 3 days before his 12th birthday. Opening up on Radio 5 Live in March 2018, he emotionally explained, "When I got home I was told there had been an accident involving a lorry, but no one told me how serious it was. I remember worrying that my mom wouldn't be there for my birthday. The next day my dad told me that she died that morning, and that was the end of my childhood, that moment. I cried every day until I was 15, and then I stopped crying and became brittle." Martin developed crippling anxiety, leaving him unable to leave the house as he couldn't cope with the thought of something else bad happening. He said on BBC4's Desert Island Discs in 2020, "My mum was there one day and she wasn't the next, and that was it. This was 1984 and you didn't have counseling." Martin, who is Jewish, said he would pretend to be busy with religious events to avoid socializing with his peers. He added, "It was very difficult because when all my friends from school were going to parties and meeting girls and things like that, which I'd have liked to do, I couldn't cope with it. It was a complete lie. I was a little boy. I was a little boy struggling to deal with something that nobody should be dealing with at that age." During a tear-jerking Loose Women interview in 2019, Martin discussed the moment his world was turned upside down. "My sister, father and I were incredibly wounded for such a long time," he said. "I struggled to remember anything other than the pain. I'm trying to remember the wonderful person I lost, not remember I lost a wonderful person." Martin hopes that his daughter never has to go through the same pain. He told the Daily Star, "It was all very sudden. None of us expected it. It's still something I don't like talking about. It's too painful to talk about. It affects me now. It affects me deeply. It affects me in my day-to-day life." He added, "I close my eyes and pray that my little girl never goes through the pain that I went through. I sit there and think, just let me be around until she's 20. That's really important to me."